play the basic Georgia Shuffle. Now everybody knows what that is, if you never call it that. It's the thing you do when you do the dreaded 4 potatoes to start the tune. You know, this thing. So it's long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, and every time the bow changes directions. So let's try this little Georgia Shuffle though. We're just going to do it on the open strings, and again, a lot of you already done this. No big deal. But if you haven't, but the bow changes direction every time. You know, anytime there's a 3-note passage, you're going to go back the other way every other time. So let's just try to pull on the down bow. Pull, then up here it's going to be a. In other words, those two, the quick ones, ought to be happening in different parts of the bow every time. You get what I'm saying there? Because you pull long. It's not as exaggerated as that when you're doing it up to speed, but kind of get the idea. You're playing kind of in different parts of the bow too. Okay, let's just try that one more time just for grins, because what I'm going to do is show you a tune that you can play using that lick, and just maybe talk about examples of, there's whole fiddlers that their whole life has been playing that lick, and they've played for a million square dances, so it's a good lick to have in your toolbox. So here we go. Here we go. Ready, play. Tune that everybody knows. I'm not going to teach it, but I'll play a little bit of it. The kind of like it's, you know, a hackneyed tune, but you can still play it for a dance. It's a real piece of music. Boil the cabbage down. You know, everyone teaches that as a simple tune, but you can play a nice rendition of it too. So let's just play a little bit of that just for grins, because it uses this lick, and I'm sure once you hear it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll go, "Oh, I've heard that 100 times." You know that, and you basically use this lick to play the whole tune. You know? Here we go. Anyway, you get the idea. You've heard that. Well, that's where that lick comes from, and that's just your basic. I call it the Georgia Shuffle. You know, basic shuffle. But so there's a cool tune I want to show you called Polk County Breakdown, which is a tune that Bob Holt, this friend of mine, Bob Holt, played, and it's one of the really fast tunes that he'd play. But he learned it from a Tommy Jackson record, I'm sure, because that's where everybody. I think that's the origin of that tune, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just play a little bit of this. And then on the first part, it's an A, yeah, it's an A. On the first part, you use that lick, you know, to play pretty much with, you might have to make a little variation here to get turned around, but mostly it's that. Okay, so here we go. Not too fast. On that little tune. It's a great little tune. It's a good square dance tune. I've even heard people play it in contests. You know, fancy here. It starts out. This tune starts out again. It's called Polk County Breakdown, like the President Polk. You know, not Polk County Breakdown. And and it's in A, so let's mess with A a little bit, because now we're going to play all the notes in A on the whole fiddle. So we did before, we did this, this on the A and E string. So now let's start right here on the A on the E string. I'm going to play scale all the way down to this. Okay. Now, one thing is, again, the finger pattern on the A and E string is this. Okay. The finger pattern on the G and D string is this. Except that this will be an open note. That'll be an open D, open A. Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, so let's see here. So we're going to start right here. We're going to just play a scale down, like da da da. Okay, here we go. But when you're playing on the G and D string, make sure you're playing the extended third finger, so it's like C sharp, not. Okay, and then make sure you're playing the G sharp, not. Okay, now so this first part of the tune starts with that unison thing we were doing, and so. Almost any tune I play that starts with an open string, I'm going to do the unison, because it's fatter, it's thicker, the open string sounds thin. So it's like, so the first little bit is this. So play the C sharp on the A string, and then go to the E unison. And then get right off of that and go to the open E. So, okay? All right, so the first little bit of notes is, I'll do without the unison. It'd be, listen one time, that's all on the E string. Listen one time. Here. Okay, so that's like, listen one time. Okay, here we go. One more time. Yep. Okay, so from there, you're going to go, stay on that E, that A note, listen one time. You're going to do this. Listen one more time. So that's just, I'm not playing the third finger at all on the E string, just listen. Here we go. Second finger, sorry. Yeah, that's right. If I wasn't playing the third finger, I'd be in trouble. Okay, here we go. So listen one time. Here we go. Yep, one more time. Okay, so what you got so far sounds like this. Listen one time. Okay, here we go. Start right here with the unison, remember? Okay, one more time. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
No, it's okay. Listen one time here. So the first, let's do the, go back and just do the unison. Everybody hit that? Okay. Now listen one time. Okay. Okay. One more time. you got so far is this. Okay, here we go. One more time. Okay, now let's play this little bit here. The next little bit is this. And I'm playing the open E and the open A together there. Okay, let's do it together. One more time. Okay, now let's do those parts together. Just listen once. Okay, here we go. One more time. Once more. Now, I'm going to go on from there. Some of that repeats. Just listen one time. So here, I'm going to go on and play the next couple bars here. Okay, so let's play. That's the only thing new. Listen one time. Start here on this A. Find this A. Now listen one time. Together. One more time. Okay, you got that lick kind of stored away. I'll play you up to that point. Just listen one time. Ah. Round off at the end, so we're not to that yet. Let's just see if we can just play as much of it as you can. If you're playing 60% of it or 80% of it, that's good. So let's just start right there and just try to play up to that little point where I stopped. Okay, here we go. The end of it's. Listen one more time. Listen. Okay, do that a little bit. So that's just, I'm bouncing on the C sharp and the open A. Do that a little bit. C sharp. By the way, if you need me to say finger numbers too, I can do that too, because not everybody knows the names of the string, the names of the notes. So if you need me to do that, second finger there. So it's, listen. One more time. One more time. Once more. Feeling. Okay, now we're going to play around on an E chord. So we're going to play, the notes of interest are B, open A, and G sharp. So listen one time. Start on this B here. One more time. So the whole thing is, the whole end part is this. Okay. One more time. Once more. you the whole first part. So just listen, I'll play it slow, and then we're going to play it together.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay, here we go.